So you're still undecided? Buckle up. Elections can feel like choosing between a kick in the shins and, well, a slightly differently angled kick in the shins. But here's the thing. Letting someone else choose your future, that's like letting someone pick your dentist based on their collection of novelty ties. You might end up okay, or with a horrifying molar-shaped lampshade. This time the stakes are higher than a giraffe on stilts over Everest. With Trump and Kamala Harris in the ring, we're facing a choice that could reshape the landscape. Consider this your crash course guide to the 2024 election. Chapter 1. Trump's Economic Policies, Making America. Whatever this is. We all remember the trade wars, the tax cuts that seemed to benefit, let's be honest, mostly people who could already afford solid gold yachts, and that whole infrastructure week thing that never actually materialized. Now, some might argue, but the economy was doing well under Trump. And to them, I say, did you even look at a graph? Sure, there were some temporary gains, but at what cost? We're talking ballooning deficits, widening inequality, and an economic foundation shakier than a squirrel trying to walk across a tightrope made of jelly. Chapter 2. Harris's healthcare stance. Obamacare's biggest fan, with notes. Harris is a big proponent of expanding the Affordable Care Act, aiming to provide healthcare for all Americans. She wants to add a public option and lower the Medicare eligibility age. Essentially, she's aiming for a system where everyone has access to affordable, quality healthcare. Chapter 3. Trump's foreign policy tweets, tariffs, and general turmoil. From cozying up to dictators to alienating allies, Trump's approach to international relations was something else. Remember when he fell in love with Kim Jong-un, a man with a terrible human rights record? Or when he slapped tariffs on allies and enemies alike, just to see what would happen? The result? A global stage more chaotic than a clown car on fire. Chapter 4. Harris's criminal justice reform. From prosecutor to, well, it's complicated. She's advocated for reforms like ending cash bail and reducing mass incarceration. But her time as a prosecutor has drawn criticism for being tough on crime. So where does that leave us? It's a mixed bag. Chapter 5. Trump's environmental policies, climate change, more like climate meh. From pulling out of the Paris Climate Agreement to gutting environmental regulations, Trump treated the planet like an all-you-can-eat buffet, except the buffet is on fire, and the only thing on the menu is our future. Chapter 6. Harris's education policies, free college and other stuff. Kamala Harris champions making community college tuition free and increasing teacher pay. She aims to make education more accessible and appealing. Critics argue her plans lack specifics and rely heavily on spending a lot of money. Trump's immigration policies, building walls, separating families, and generally being not great. Remember the border wall, costing billions, yet couldn't withstand a stiff breeze? Or the family separation policy, so heartless it could make a statue cry. Chapter 8. Harris's social justice approach, progress or pandering. Kamala Harris champions social justice, advocating for LGBTQ+ rights, racial equality, and women's rights. Critics argue her record doesn't always align with her rhetoric, pointing to her past stances on criminal justice and drug policy. Is she a genuine advocate or a savvy politician? The jury's still out. Chapter 9. Trump's COVID-19 response, a masterclass in misinformation and mismanagement, from downplaying the virus's severity. Remember when he compared it to the common cold, to promoting unproven cures like injecting bleach, which, seriously, don't do that. The result? A death toll that could have been significantly lower and an economy in shambles. Chapter 10. Harris's economic recovery plans, spending big to possibly fix things. Kamala Harris proposes investments in infrastructure, clean energy, and small businesses. Supporters say her plans will create jobs and stimulate growth. Critics argue her proposals are unrealistic and fiscally irresponsible. Will her plans lead to economic salvation or a fiscal cliff? Time will tell. So, there you have it, a whirlwind tour of the key issues facing voters in the 2024 election. We're not here to tell you who to vote for. We arm you with information to make an informed decision based on facts, not fear-mongering. Your vote isn't just a vote. Do your research, stay informed, and get out there and vote.